middle of the hallway when suddenly I heard kissing noises from my twin brother Mark's room. I took a peek from the door and had the biggest shock of my life. He wasn't kissing his girlfriend or another girl. He was kissing my boyfriend, for the love of God. I was so shocked I started nosebleeding. I barged into the room screaming, "What did I do wrong? Don't you like my long hair anymore?" "My love, Mark shoved him away and defensively said, "Get out of my room, you little perv." He then ran to the window and started pretending to throw up violently. "Oh, and now you're pregnant? Lagot kai." "Shut up, brat. It's not what you think." My boyfriend immediately jumped out of the window without any explanation and was never seen again, ever. He was a jerk anyway. Mama barged in and asked what happened. "Ma, Mark kissed my boyfriend." "Correction, her stupid boyfriend sneaked into my room and kissed me. Gadiri, it's not my fault that both girls and boys are crazy about me." "OMG, you're just jealous because I'm better than you at almost everything, even soccer." "You wish. I'm the man of the house. I'll do whatever I want whenever I want, and I will make sure to ruin your life." Mama glared at me. "Stop annoying my darling boy. Gay or not, at least his room is clean. Look, it's more organized than your entire life, you useless girl. Go clean your room now." "My room is always clean. It's just organized in a messy way. And did you ever hear him threatening me, like just now?" Mama continued blabbering, which made me sleepy, and I yawned. Moments later, I just dropped on the floor and fell asleep. Again. "Oh, hi there. My name is Trixie. I'm from the Philippines, and I have a condition called narcolepsy, where I sleep literally anytime and anywhere. But that didn't stop me from stealing my brother's girlfriend to get revenge on him. Like and subscribe to hear my story. You see, my annoying brother was in the same class as mine, and he made my life crazier with this condition. One day, our history teacher was talking about how our country was made up of 7,640 beautiful islands when Christian, Mark's best friend, suddenly went down on his knees and asked me to marry him. Was this for real? "Oh yes, Christian, I do, I will marry you." Suddenly, our teacher kicked my seat and I was wide awake. "Detention for sleeping in class again, Trixie." I looked around and saw that everyone was laughing at me, including Christian himself. My stupid brother teased me. "Oh yes, Christian, I do. I will marry you." So freaking stupid. Oh no, had I seriously said that? I had been secretly crushing on Christian since forever, but I'd never admit it because he was my jerk brother's best friend. While on my way to the detention room, I bumped into Christian of all people. He was grinning from ear to ear as he helped me up. "So, I heard from a reliable source that you want to marry me." It was just a dream, like, ew, you're not even my type." My heart instantly raced when he leaned in closer and started playing with my hair. "You're really cute, you know." Huh? He pressed my nose and gave a wink before leaving. OMG, my heart. Just then, Mark and his girlfriend Julia, the most beautiful girl in school, walked by me. They just pushed me away and continued walking. I landed on the ground and fell asleep right away, and when I woke up, girls were looking differently at me. Were they drooling? I got even more confused at what they were saying. "Oh my God, who is he? He's so cute. Have babies with me, new guy. He can ruin my life and I'll thank him." I passed by a locker which had a mirror attached to it and screamed at the top of my lungs when I realized that someone had cut my hair short. I immediately thought of Mark. It was surely him. I stomped over to Julia. Her eyes grew wide upon seeing me. "Did he send you to cut my hair?" "Huh? What are you talking about, and who are you?" "Duh, I'm Trixie." She looked totally shocked and a bit hooked. "Mark was gonna pay for this. This is a joke, right?" Julia leaned in closer to inspect my face, and our lips almost touched. "You look more handsome than your brother." Mark showed up looking very, very jealous. It gave me an idea for a perfect payback. By stealing his girlfriend. "Babe, what are you doing?" "I was just telling your sister how she got uglier in short hair." "Come on, babe, stop wasting your time on her." He snatched Julia away, and the girl looked back at me and gave me a weird smile. Later that day, I was looking for her and found her watching the soccer practice along with hundreds of other girls. She was surprised when I sat beside her. I tried talking to her, but she was ignoring me. Why couldn't she be like those other girls who were suddenly going crazy over me? Mark turned in our direction, so I grinned and whispered some nonsense in his girlfriend's ear to make it look like we were flirting. "Robot potato." Huh? I so wanted to laugh at Julia's face. The girl looked so confused. I was so loving the look of jealousy on Mark's face. Minutes later, I had fallen asleep in the bleachers, and when I woke up, Christian was taking the ball and flew it in my direction. Thank God I immediately caught it with one hand. Everyone looked very impressed. I really was good at soccer. Christian ran up to me and said, "I'm so sorry about that, dude." Wait, Trixie? Is that you? Why did you cut your beautiful hair? His disappointed face made me want to cry. I missed my long hair so much. Because of that, my hatred for my brother grew even more. Somebody cut it while I was sleeping. I bet it was someone insecure. I made sure that Mark heard it. It will grow back again in a month, don't worry. Anyway, that catch was perfect. You should be our new goalkeeper. The last one is in a coma since he got hit on his head. Mark immediately rejected his idea. Dude, seryoso ka? My sister's a girl and she just messed the game. Try me. Their coach agreed to it, and the next moment I was already standing in the goal box with all the players lined up in front of me, ready to kick the ball. They were all stunned when I caught them all effortlessly. Mark looked like he was about to eat me alive, but Christian was looking very impressed. Oh my God, Trixie, that was so cool. Suddenly, hundreds of girls were running towards me looking like hungry pregnant cats. Oh no, I immediately excused myself and hid inside the janitor's closet. I took out my pillow and instantly fell asleep. When I woke up, I almost screamed upon seeing Julia's face up close. She was on top of me, and she was holding scissors. Panicking, I pushed her away, and she crashed against the janitor's things and knocked them all over, making some loud noise. You stupid girl! Why can't you be ugly? I should have cut everything last time. No one should be prettier than me. What? So it was actually her and not Mark? What a psycho! She was about to pull my hair when the door opened, and I came face to face with a shocked Christian, a furious Mark, and the jealous girls behind them. Apparently, it looked like I had just made out with Julia. I swear, at that moment, I wanted to disappear. Julia immediately went after Mark, while I was left with Christian and the other girls. I was about to explain, but he stopped me. It's okay, Trixie. I understand. I wanted to run after him, but these furious girls were blocking my way. Could this day get any worse? The soccer finals finally came and I tripped over something out of nervousness. To my surprise, someone picked me up and carried me like we just got married. Christian! What are you doing? Just making your dreams come true. I was blushing hardcore when he gently put me on my seat and sat next to me. I wanted to be clear to him that I wasn't a lesbian, but then Mark suddenly squeezed himself between us and they started talking about girls and Mobile Legends. Ugh, boys. When we reached the stadium, the game immediately started and it was intense. The players of our rival school were really good. One of them was already kicking the ball in my direction. I was so confident that I'd catch it, but to my surprise, I tripped again and missed it. I looked down and noticed that I'd actually forgotten to tie my shoelaces. I caught Mark smirking at me. Oh, that jerk was happy I messed the game. Thankfully, I was able to catch the next ones. Things got really boring in the middle of the game, so I fell asleep in the middle of the goal box. Minutes later, I woke up to my brother pouring water over me and the sound of my teammates and to everyone screaming at me. Trixie, wake up! I instantly rose to life and saw the current score. It was now a tie and we only had 10 seconds left. When I got up, a player was now running my way and oh boy, those legs were scary. All right, Trixie, you're a girl and you're cool. You can stop this. He kicked the ball real hard and I jumped to reach it and slapped it away. My teammates in the audience rose to cheer for our victory. Christian picked me up and twirled me around like we were happy lovers. You were amazing. He was about to kiss me when Mark interrupted us. You did great, sis. I couldn't believe my ears. It was the first time he'd ever said a nice thing about me. Thanks, Squia. When we came back to school, everyone was treating me like a hero and the girls were showering me with gifts and marriage proposals. I turned to Christian and gave him a help me look, but he just gave me a very sad look. Did he really think that I was enjoying these girls' attention? Suddenly, I felt brave. I grabbed his face and finally kissed him in front of those girls. He kissed me back, and I had butterflies flapping around wildly in my stomach. I looked for Mark, but I couldn't find him anywhere. I wondered if he was okay. He didn't go to school the next day, and I got a bit worried. One night, I decided to sneak into his room, only to get another shocker when I saw him staring at Christian's picture in his wallet. Oh my God! I thought he was jealous because of Julia, but no, it was because of Christian. His best friend and my crush. Grabito. Suddenly he spoke. I know you're there, sis. Come and sit with your loser brother. For the first time in my life, I felt sorry for him. I sat beside him, and to my surprise, he hugged me, and his body shook as he cried. You're not a loser, okay? We are not losers. Remember that. Christian has really liked you since day one, you know. Take care of that jerk for me, okay? I promise. The rivalry between my brother and I finally came to an end. And as a bonus, I also became Mama's new favorite when I finally cleaned my room.
I'm Ashton. I'm 15 years old. I have some really serious issues with my parents. Can a father be jealous of his own son? My dad is jealous of me because in just 4 months, I made as much money as he has in 10 years. And I'm making even more now. And what about mother? Mine is jealous of me because even though she tried to stop me, I still managed to become rich. It all started when my math teacher made an announcement. Guys, I see you all gaming all the time. I think you've played enough. How about you build your own game that others can play? Starting next month, I'm going to teach a mobile game coding class at the Coding Club. Anyone who joins will have made a game by the end of the course. You might think that I immediately jumped at the idea, but it wasn't like that because I have to admit that at that time, when someone said coder, all I could think of was a nerd with thick glasses and no friends. But this girl I had a crush on, Olivia, said, "That's a great idea. I'm definitely going to join." And I thought that maybe I was wrong about coders. If Olivia was taking the coding class, I would take it too, because I'd been looking for an opportunity to ask her out for months. The class would be a good way to spend more time with her. That evening at home, I told my parents about the course. I said, "My computer is really slow. If we can get a new laptop, I could code from anywhere." But my dad said, "You're going to write code? Son, don't get me wrong, but coding is for smart people. Don't waste your time." Which made me really angry. "Dad, what do you mean?" I yelled at him. And my mom said, "Ashton, don't you raise your voice. You think we have a money tree in the backyard? You can't expect us to waste money on ridiculous things like this." So she was with my dad on this. Arguing with them was useless. They had never taken me seriously. As usual, I was going to have to take care of this myself. When the course started, I realized that creating a game was much harder than I thought it would be. Still, I was happy to be spending time with Olivia. I hadn't told her how I felt about her yet, but we were getting along really well. We were chatting all the time. Then one day, she told me something that really hurt me. I had joined the coding class because of Olivia, and she had joined because of Kyle, the founder of the coding club. All she wanted was to get him to notice her. I was devastated when she confessed this to me, but of course, I couldn't say anything. One day in class, our math teacher said, "Guys, I have an idea which I think will motivate you. At the end of the course, we'll have a competition for the best game. All your classmates will vote for their favorite. The person whose game gets the most votes will get a prize." Kyle said, "I've been coding since I was 8 years old. I've already developed 3 games. It won't be fair to the others if I compete as well." But Olivia wasn't having it. "Kyle, please, you have to compete or the whole school will make fun of us. At least one good game should come out of this course." Kyle looked at her and said, "In that case, I'm in, but only because Olivia wants me to be." And Olivia blushed. Kyle and Olivia were flirting right in front of my eyes, and I was watching as if it were a soap opera. Suddenly, I had an idea. Would Olivia be impressed if I were the one who created the best game? Maybe she was just like my dad and thought coders were smart, and that's why she had a crush on Kyle. I was going to go for it. I had nothing to lose, and if I won the competition, maybe Olivia would like me. Of course, first I had to come up with a good idea for a game. Olivia loved the Japanese kawaii characters. She always wore clothes with kawaii cats or rabbits on them. If I built a game with those characters, I was sure she would love it. After I made the decision, I started to work literally day and night. One night, I was looking for something to eat in the fridge, and I accidentally dropped a bottle of milk. The noise woke up my dad. I'd gone back to my room to keep working when he came in. He started screaming. He asked me why I was still up at that hour. When I told him I was working on my game, he said, "So you're just wasting electricity?" and unplugged the computer. I was devastated because hours of work that I had put just disappeared. When my dad turned off the computer, the code I wrote that day was lost. But there was nothing I could do since in our house, my parents were in charge. They thought they could do whatever they wanted. After this incident, my parents began to harass me. Every time they saw me coding, they tried to do something to stop me. They were irritated with me when they should have been proud. I had no choice but to start working in the computer lab after school. One day, Kyle came up to me. When he saw the kawaii characters on the screen, he said, "I'm the best in the class, and it looks like you're the worst. Are you making a game for babies?" He was mocking me. Even though I tried to act cool, I was worried about what he had said. I love my game, but I've never shown it to anyone else. Maybe it's not as good as I think it is, I thought to myself. That night, I couldn't sleep because I was so upset. When we got to the end of the course, our math teacher said, "We're going to upload all your games to the app stores. Then we'll announce the competition to the school. Your friends will be able to download and play the games and vote for their favorites." I had done my best, but unfortunately, I wasn't very confident in my game. I thought no one would like it. I was sure Kyle had developed a very good game. He'd become even more popular than he already was, and everyone would laugh at me, like always. Our games were supposed to come out in the app stores the next day. That night, I couldn't fall asleep. I thought, I wish I'd never gotten involved in this. I must have passed out before sunrise. When I woke up, it was past 1 p.m. I had turned off my phone. When I turned it back on, texts started pouring in. I was flooded with messages and my friends were congratulating me. Girls loved my kawaii characters. The winner hadn't been announced yet, but judging from the text, everyone was sure I was going to win. I thought about Kyle's game. I downloaded it immediately. He'd made a platform game. It wasn't bad, but it was mediocre. There were thousands of games like it. There was nothing special about it, and I was bored after 5 minutes. It looked like Kyle's game was a huge disappointment, and if I'm honest, it made me happy. I got to school an hour later. When I walked in the door, I was greeted like a rock star. The best part was Olivia running up to me and giving me a hug. "Did you download Kyle's game? I expected more from him. No one liked his," she said. It was obvious who the winner of the Kyle versus Ashton fight was. Of course, it was a big deal for me to win the school competition, but the biggest surprise was that the next day, my game had become one of the most downloaded apps. A week later, I logged into my App Store account, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw how much money I'd made. If this kept up, I'd be very rich. And it did. Right now, I have quite a bit of money in my Bitcoin account. So take a guess, what was the first thing that I bought, and for whom? If you thought it was for Olivia, you're wrong. I bought a really nice sports car for my math teacher. I'm also giving him 20% of all my earnings. He deserves all of it because the best things in my life are the result of the course that he started. The day I won the competition, I told my parents about what happened. As you know, we hadn't been getting along well for some time. I even had to fight them to be able to finish my game. They never had any faith in me, but they were still my family. I wanted to share how happy I was. We were at the dinner table. I was talking excitedly about the texts I got when I woke up, how everyone was congratulating me when I came to school, and that my game was getting so popular. They kept on eating their food without even bothering to respond. Finally, my dad said, "Okay, so now this game thing is over, right? I think we've heard enough of this crap." I couldn't believe my ears. "No, Dad, it's not over. This is just the beginning." I yelled and left the kitchen to go to my room. That night, it was only the first day, so I had no idea about my game's worldwide success or the fact that I was about to make more money than I could ever imagine. Since I didn't know those things, my family didn't know about them either. I'd only told them about what had happened at school. But unfortunately, they'd let me down. In the days that followed, I found out I was rich, but I didn't say anything to my parents. When my sports car gift to my teacher made it to social media, my mom found out about it. They came to my room. "What's up with all this money? Did you make money from this game? Why didn't you tell us about it?" they asked. Yes, I made a lot of money, and I'm still making a lot. I didn't tell you because I thought that since you weren't interested in my game, you wouldn't be interested in the money I made either. They were both very annoyed when my dad said, "Ashton, we're your family. You're young. You can't even open a bank account. You have to give us that money." I told him I'm buying Bitcoin with the money I make, so don't you worry. I have even more now without lifting a finger. It's been months since this conversation. I haven't given my family a single penny. They keep bugging me about it. They're really jealous because in a few months, I'd made more money than my dad made working for years and years, but I'm still both angry and upset. Everything could have been different if only they'd been happy for me that first day. I can't forgive them because I can't forget how they acted that day. Last night, I caught my dad looking at my Instagram account. He was enlarging and looking closely at the photos I've been posting. I could tell that he was super jealous from the way he was looking at them. I called Olivia and told her about it. She laughed and said, "Babe, I think you're exaggerating. They're your family." And I replied, "No, babe, I'm not exaggerating, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing."